What's up, y'all? It's your boy Beasley. Hope you all are staying positive and cool out there. I'm coming at you guys today with a Season 5, Episode 11 review of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Taxing Times and Blurry Lines. Ooh, I just got a new accent rug, y'all, and it just tickles my toes. But enough about me. Let's go ahead and get into this episode. So it starts off, we see Karen and Ray, they're in the kitchen, and it's revealed that she invited Giselle and Ashley, of all people, to go to her hometown, like, homecoming parade. And I thought it was gonna be a whole entire, like, girls trip, except for maybe not Ashley, except for maybe Candace and Monique, but she just invited Ashley and Giselle. So Ashley arrives and she was like wearing that jumpsuit. Like that pregnancy did her body good. Like her booty was popping. Like Ashley looked really good. I wasn't really a fan of like the pink boots with the outfit though. And Ashley also reveals that she decided not to take the baby this time. Like, she's gonna leave the baby home with Michael because Michael cannot be trusted. So, basically, keeping that baby with him is going to ensure that he's not out creeping while she's gone, which is something he probably always does. And she also reveals, like, she, like, shoved a tracker up his ass. And by a tracker, she means a butt plug. So, Giselle arrives looking like Blue Cantrell from 2002. Like, what did she have on, y'all? Like, it was like a cape with a fur collar, and then she had on some, I think they were Gucci sneakers with some leggings and some old Jennifer Lopez glasses. Like, Giselle, she can't dress. Like, I'm just gonna reiterate that in every single review. So the girls go on and they get into their car, and then Karen tries to reach out for a kiss to Mr. Ray, and then he just plays her dust. Like, he, like, literally rushed her out the door and didn't even try to give her a kiss. Like, it's just like, them two, I really thought the storyline between them two was fake, but Mr. Ray is just not here for Karen, not feeling her at all, and they honestly may get a divorce within the next season of the show. So we see Robin. She shows up to Candace's house and they have like a sit down for tea, and they basically are there to discuss the aftermath of the fight. Robin reveals that Monique basically has no remorse whatsoever over what she did, and Candace then starts to cry. Like, Candace is still like distraught, and she just does not understand how things got to this point. But at the same time, Candace, like, you have to take some responsibility. Yes, Monique was more wrong in the situation, but Candace, you were wrong as well. Like, you were taunting Monique, even though some of it was warranted because Monique has been pressing Candace's buttons all season. Like, Candace, you were taunting her. You even had a butter knife in your hand, just like you were like going off on Ashley that last season where you had a butter knife in your hand, threatening her with it. So don't act like you didn't do anything wrong. So Robin reveals that she's annoyed that Karen hasn't really expressed any type of disappointment in Monique. Like, she hasn't posted anything on her social media talking against Monique. But Karen is trying to be like, not the mediator, but Karen isn't taking sides. Like, she's friends with both of these girls, so what do you expect? But then Candace reveals that Karen actually told her that if she felt some type of way about the situation that deeply, then she should go ahead and press charges. Now, Karen, I love you, girl, but to me that comes off as a little fake. Like, these two girls are your friends. Why are you convincing one of them to take legal action against the other? Like, that's not really being a friend. That's like being a fake friend. Like, I wasn't really feeling that, Karen, and we're going to get into that a little bit more later. And then Candace then proceeds to ask Robin about her $90,000 tax lien, and Robin reveals that, yeah, she got hit with a tax lien because she had some income that she did not claim on her taxes. Like, she's trying to be her own tax agent, probably because she can't afford anybody to do taxes for her, and she just got hit with a tax lien because she didn't do what she was supposed to be doing. And I'm just like, Robin, how do you expect this man to even want to marry you again? Like, you messed up his finances the first time. So it's kind of like a fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me situation. Like, honestly, I feel like Juan only proposed to Robin because this is a storyline and it's something that's needed for them to stay on this show, because they really don't have much of anything else going on. So, Robin, girl, like, I honestly don't even feel bad about the way he even treats her. Like, he just pays her dust because it's like you messing up our money. Like, there's no type of romance without finances, and I learned that very early on in life. Like, there is no romance without finance. Like, Robin, how do you expect this man to want to love you and be there for you when you can't even hold the house down? Like, come on. So we go back and we see Karen, Ashley, and Giselle. They arrive at Karen's family farm, which actually was a plantation that their family was slaves on. And I thought that was just a beautiful thing, that they really just came up and had a full circle moment and really like reclaimed their throne and they reclaimed their seat. Like, I don't know how it happened, but like that is very, very beautiful. So they arrive, and then Karen introduces them to some of her family. It was like two of her cousins and an aunt. And they go through some family photos of Karen, and she was like a cute little child. It was a cute moment. And they go out and they tour the farm. They go ahead and harvest corn, and then after that, they gather around, and then Monique ends up calling Ashley. And Monique is kind of just like, I'm just very drained and over this whole entire fight situation. And she basically says that, honestly, if I didn't go off on Candace, it would have been somebody else, Giselle. But it's basically like Monique has no remorse, and Karen and Giselle are just like over it. And then Karen once again reiterates the fact that she told Candace that she should probably seek some legal action against this whole entire situation. And I just feel like, Karen, you were doing so good with staying out of the mess this whole entire season, and then here you are. And this is going to be a focal point probably in the next few episodes to come along, because Karen, that was being very fake. Like, that's the one strike against Karen this whole season. But other than that, Karen is that girl. And then, Giselle is just sitting there like, she's just a liar. Like, I'm just over it. Like, I just want nothing to do with her. Giselle, you've always been jealous of Monique. Monique is prettier than you. She has more money. She actually has something going on in her life besides just being like a trophy wife to a cheating pastor. Like, Monique is better than you, Giselle. And that's why you don't like her, because you feel like, oh, I'm Vanessa Williams. I got these light skin, blonde hair, and green eyes. She just feels like everything should be handed to her in life. And since things aren't going her way, she's not in the financial standpoint that she thought she would be in. Like, she sees Monique doing better than her in all forms and aspects of life, to where she's just jealous of her. And she's trying to do any and everything to get her off of this show. Like, it's all, like, Giselle is literally the green-eyed monster. So we see Wendy. She meets up with her sister. And basically this whole scene is her revealing to her sister that she does not want to be a professor anymore. She wants to focus more on her dreams of being like a political commentator, and also, being on this show, having newfound fame. Basically, like, she's trying to shift her doctorate life into her entertainment life. But she's on the fence with it because her mom is going to look at her funny. Like, her mom's going to be like, you did all this work, and I sacrificed all of this time and energy putting into you to become a doctor, and now you just want to be on TV. And it's just like, Wendy, at this point in your life, like, you're a grown-ass woman. Like, you've proven to your mom already that, hey, you got 4 degrees and a PhD. Like, what more else do you need to do? Like, how much longer are you going to have this girl, like, have control over your life? Like, do what you want to do. So we see Juan. He's sitting at the bar. And then we see Robin in some cosplay come up. She walks in there looking like China, the WWF Women's Champion of the world. Rest in peace. But she shows up looking like China with a fake Russian accent that didn't even work. Like, Juan was looking at her like, girl, like, cut to the chase. And she's basically trying to butter Juan up because she messed up. Once again, she messed up their finances. And she even talks about it like, yeah, I messed up. I tried to be my own tax lawyer, tax agent, whatever, and I got hit with a tax lien. And Juan is basically like, well, that's on you. And she was just sitting there just like looking dumbfounded. I'm like, Robin, girl, at this point, you should have expected that answer from him. Like, he is not trying to get worked up over your mess. But he ends up like playing along with her, and it was a cute little scene. Like, even though she just makes so many dumb decisions, they still have an undeniable chemistry, and he still loves her. But I think he would be a fool to marry her a second time. There ain't no way I'm about to marry you. We can't even buy a house, and now you have this tax lien on top of that. Like, no. What are you, like, Robin, you're working backwards, girl. Like, Robin, you're on this show making this money. Like, I'm not seeing where the money is going. Like, you don't ever really have your hair done. These wigs look a mess. You don't really dress. She doesn't dress as bad as Giselle, but she just doesn't really, like, she just looks like she just shops at Ross. Like, like, Robin, come on, girl. Like, we want to see you come up. Like, you were doing good that last season when she was, like, investing into, like, investment properties, and she was also... She had like a little seminar, you know, them little fake quick get rich schemes that these girls be doing with the seminars and all that. But we saw you elevating and it just stopped out of nowhere. Like, come on, Robin, if you're gonna be on this show, we need to see some progression in your life, girl. So we go back to Karen, Giselle, and Ashley. And they go to see her cousin to get in a Bentley. Karen had on a beautiful monochromatic, like powder blue outfit. I absolutely loved it. But she gets in the Bentley to get ready for the parade. And then Ashley and Giselle feel some type of way because, like, why can't we get in the Bentley? And I'm just like, this isn't about y'all. Y'all are there to support her, remember? And then Karen also shades Giselle in confessional saying that, like, you know, it must be great for her to be, like, the Beyonce to these people. Basically because it's, like, a small town. Like, it's just amazing. Like, even though she hasn't accomplished much, like, she's done a lot to them. And I'm like, Giselle, what have you accomplished? Like, what have you... Like, we don't ever see your hometown of New Orleans trying to celebrate you. Like, honestly, they don't even really care about you. And it was revealed even in Karen's confessional. Karen's confessionals are on point, y'all. Like, Karen, in my opinion, she this season has solidified herself as... not necessarily the HBIC, but I would like to say like the den mother. Like when you think about Potomac, you think about Karen. And that's not just me being biased, but like Karen is a good like anchor to this show at this point. But yeah, they get in that car and then the parade starts. The parade looked a little cheap to me. Like it was like barely anybody there. I mean, there was a good amount of people at certain points, but I expected to see like floats and all that. Everybody was just in cars. At least she was in a Bentley. But then we then go over to Candace. She's shopping for a dog with her mom, and they find a dog, and they basically sit down and once again talk about the whole entire fight situation. And then Candace's mom is just disgusted with Monique. She's like, what kind of girl like fights in public like that? And I'm just like, how quickly you forget that you had to pop your own grown-ass daughter at an event. Like, even though it wasn't on camera, like, it was revealed that you did that. So... like, why are you hitting your daughter is damn near, like, how old is Candace? Candace has to be, like, at least early to mid-30s. Like, why are you still getting hit by your mom, girl? But, basically, like, her mom wants to convince her that she needs to go ahead and press charges. And we do see that, like, Candace ended up doing that later on down the line. I believe it was mainly, like, revealed in social media that she pressed charges on Monique. So we then see Karen back with Giselle and Ashley. They go to visit the church that she grew up in. And it was like a beautiful moment. Like the church was where she grew up in. And it's where both her parents died, where they had the funeral at. And I think that was still pretty fresh because, correct me if I'm wrong, like her parents passed away like within like weeks of each other. I believe it was like at least 2 years ago. So it's still pretty fresh and she's still harboring the emotions. And she goes into say this church was her foundation. That's where she really started her public speaking. And it's really, she grew up in this church and it made her into the woman that she is today. And then she decides to go to the restroom, but behind closed doors, she just breaks down crying. Like I said, it's still very fresh and it was very sad to see. So we see Monique. She's with Chris in the kitchen, and then they wait for their pastor and the first lady to come over so she can have a talk and really get down to the issue as to why she popped up on Candace. And they sit down, and the pastor, I believe Monique grew up with this pastor for, I think he didn't look that much older than her, but the way they were talking was like she grew up in the church that he's the pastor at. And it was revealed that, like, she dealt with a lot growing up. Like, she was bullied a lot. And then she's in an environment on this TV show where people are just coming after her, basically from jealousy. And then also in the fact that Monique, throughout her life, has always had to prove herself to people. And she harbors these emotions, and then they tend to build up. And then she ends up popping off on somebody. And that's how, like, she like basically realizes the fact that, like, Candace really wasn't like, her issues weren't really with Candace. She took her issues that she didn't address out on Candace, and she has a breakthrough moment, and she reveals that she needs to apologize to Candace and that she did her wrong, and basically, like, this is where she finally started to show remorse for her actions, and it was beautiful to see her have a breakthrough moment. But she didn't get to apologize to Candace because, like I said earlier, Candace went ahead and filed charges against her. So now it's like legal matters. It's like if she apologizes to Candace, then she would literally just like lose the case and ended up having to, I don't know, like probably pay Candace money or like a settlement or something. But it's kind of sad that like she had that full circle moment and she was going to apologize to Candace, and then Candace files those papers, and then bam, like it's back to just her saying F Candace, like I'm over this situation, F her. And that's where the episode ends. It was a cute episode. I liked it. It was very like mild-mannered, it was kind of like, the last two episodes were kind of like jam-packed, so it was like a nice pace. I would give it about a 7 out of 10. It was good for what it was. But those are my reviews on the entire episode. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell because I will be coming at you guys with some more content, so stay tuned.